Before lunch is Ben-Ari, the CEO and founder of Applied Blockchain.
Hi, so my name's Adi, and I'd like to talk to you about SilentData. But first, let me just say I'm a founder and CEO of Applied Blockchain, and we're a team of developers, primarily Algorand developers. And so we love Algorand. We love the Algorand platform. We've been developing blockchain applications since 2015. And the reason we love Algorand, two reasons actually. One is the tech, and two is the people. The reason why we like the tech is because of the fundamentals. Right? This is a platform which is solid, which is built on technology fundamentals. It's not in a rush. It's not really about the hype. It's about building that's actually something solid for the long term. And that's what we think will ultimately prevail in this space, and that's what we believe in. So that's why we put a lot of our energy into Algorand. Now, as Algorand developers, we see gaps and we see things that we need in order to develop the applications on the platform. And so we've been developing some tooling and some products to support that. And one of those is SilentData. Another one, by the way, is called London Bridge, and it's a token bridge from Algorand to Ethereum. So if you're developing an application and you're looking for a bridge to use, reach out to us because we're going to be using state proofs as well, which people have talked about here. Now, SilentData is what we call a privacy-preserving oracle for data that's outside the blockchain. Now, there has been talk about state proofs, and the great thing about state proofs is that they allow you to take trust from the blockchain, from Algorand, to outside. So someone outside the blockchain can have proof that something has occurred on the blockchain. SilentData does the same in the other direction. So we take proof about data and things that are happening outside the blockchain and bring those in. And the unique thing about SilentData is that we can do that for data which we don't want to reveal. Okay, so there are applications that we develop and that need developing in the Algorand ecosystem that rely on data outside the blockchain, right? Examples are applications of DeFi or assets, real-world assets that have been created where the asset itself represents something outside the blockchain, and we want to be able to connect with some data outside and prove that it exists and prove its properties in order to create the asset, in order to trade the asset, in order to know the value of the asset. And the other thing is participants, people. Sometimes we need to know, or we want to back up addresses of participants with some credentials. So identity credentials, maybe social media accounts, things that we want to know about an account. We might still keep the account anonymous, but we want to be able to prove it's associated with things outside the blockchain. And we want to do it in a privacy-preserving way. Now, why do we need this? So when we see people developing solutions that link things outside the blockchain into the blockchain, what people normally do is they just hook up to an API of data outside the blockchain, and then they send the data in. The problem with that is you've got a middleman, right? And that middleman is a server, it's an application which is not on the blockchain, which sees this data, right? So the data is no longer private. It's being revealed to this application, to this API integration layer in the middle. And the thing that's much worse is that this application in the middle, this integration piece, can also change the data. So the blockchain itself, the smart contracts, the blockchain application has no way of knowing whether the data is real or not, whether it was manipulated or not. And so we cannot use the data that comes in this form in order to make decisions on the blockchain, in order for a smart contract to act, or in order to be able to move assets or deal with the assets, because the data can be manipulated. So what we've done with SilentData is we've built a platform which allows us to inspect data outside the blockchain in a privacy-preserving environment, so we as the platform hosts cannot see that or access that data, yet we can get proof about the data and then have a smart contract verify that and act on it. Okay, so we're already integrating with lots of different external APIs, Web 2 APIs. As I said, social media platforms. The first one we're going to be launching is Instagram, an Instagram account integration. But we're also doing business integrations, open banking for bank account checks, Xero and QuickBooks for accounting checks, credit scores, KYC checks, and so on. So all the different Web 2 data sources that you might want to verify and have proof of in order to drive your blockchain applications. So as I mentioned, we're able to verify the data. It's great for real-world asset tokenization. It's great to verify users in a confidential way. None of this data goes on the blockchain, and none of this data is revealed to anybody in the process. Nobody can get to it. We've got a roadmap of integrating more and more Web 2 APIs, and eventually we're going to enable people to add their own. So you'll be able to add an integration into the Web 2 API of your choice, and have the platform, the SilentData platform, in order to ensure it's processed securely in a way that it can be verified on-chain. We've won awards for this. We've already been through a number of accelerators, and we've got the partnerships, of course, including with Algorand. We've got a foundation grant, which is funding the work on this. That's it, really. Thank you very much.